Hi guys, and welcome back to a new video. In today's video, I will be answering one question that I received a lot through my YouTube channel, through my Discord channel, and also in game. And this question is, how are you making your gold, and how is it possible to make that much gold? So for me, the main way I'm using to make my gold is the auction house. So again, this is maybe not something that is gonna be informative for everyone, because some people, for instance, like to do raw gold farms and other people like to do other way of farming. Me, for instance, boosting and all these different type of activities. For me, really, I just personally like the auction house, and this is the way I'm making most of my gold with. Actually, probably like all my gold with. And this is why I want to provide some information on what are, in my opinions, the best ways to make some gold with the auction house, and how you can maximize your gold making experience in World of Warcraft. So let's start with what is, in my opinion, the most important way. And this is by diversifying what you're selling. By diversifying, I'm meaning that you need, in order to make a lot of sales per day, to have a very diversified source of items that you are selling on the auction house. It can be from transmog items to mounts to current content items such as PoEs, legendaries, crafted PoEs, also all the different gathering items such as, the hides, the ores, the silks, all these different things, and of course also all the consumables. So a little bit of everything. By having really a good amount of items and a very diversified sources of these items, you should normally be able to sell a lot of items. So personally, what I'm doing is that I'm adding different characters for each categories of items. Here, for instance, this is my main priest, and as you can see, this is really the character I'm using the most throughout Shadowlands. I just created this character at the release of Shadowlands, and I already made 213 million golds on this character only. So the average gold per day is 618,000. Right now, as you can see, it's a little bit lower. It's around 200k gold per day, because the legendaries and everything is selling at a lower price. But this is also counting, of course, all the previous gold I made throughout the expansion. And at some point, I was at more than 1 million per day. So this is pretty good. So again, with this character, I'm selling all the different legendaries and all the different BOEs that you can craft, and also the BOEs I've been able to flip. So I'm really crafting all the different legendaries. So this is why I'm able to have most of the items up on the auction house. And this is why also I'm able to make that amount of gold. So this is really with this character I'm making the most gold. But again, this is going to be mostly all these different related Shadowlands related items. Here you can see I also have a couple of items that I've just decided to sell on this character, because I'm just playing it more and it's easier to, post again and cancel all these different items. But this is not the only character I have on my main realm. On my warrior, I'm selling all the other items. So this includes all the different transmogs, the different mounts, the different materials, and all these different items that you can think of. As you can see, I really have a lot of items, and yeah, it's a little bit of everything. I've gathered all these different items by farming. I've farmed a lot before in the past, and nowadays it's mostly by flipping. So a lot of these items, I've just bought them for a very cheap price, whether by looking on the Undermine journal or by just looking directly on the auction house and also using my list of favorites. And yeah, this is how I've been able to have all these different items. So as you can see, I have, I think, a little bit more than 2,300 items on this character, worth more than 100 million gold. It says 154 million gold, but some items are just ridiculously pricey, and I will definitely never be able to sell them at that price, but it's just, like how it is. But still, it's more than 100 million gold in value for sure. And yes, this is my main character for all these different items. And of course, I also have hundreds of items that are in my other banks. I have, like, for instance, some banks characters that are just gathering all these different duplicates that I have, because I have a lot of duplicates. For instance, if you take the Vanguard leg plates, I think I probably have like 3 of them, something like that. Yes, you see, like, for instance, I have 3 of them. So sometimes I'm just trying to avoid having too many items, because yes, it's taking me a lot of time. It's usually 2 hours to post again all the items on the auction house using TSM, which is very long. But this is how I'm doing personally, really trying to have as many items as possible on the auction house. And then, of course, you are able to make a lot of gold. On this character, for instance, no, I only have 12,000 per day, because I'm not playing it that much, and I'm literally just posting all these different auctions maybe twice a month, because I just don't have the time. But before that, I made also 60 million with this character. It was my main during Battle for Azeroth and Legion and before. So really, he was the character I made all my gold with before. But yeah, so this is, for me, the first thing you need to do is diversify all the different items you're selling on the auction house. So the second most important thing, in my opinion, is also to diversify the realms you are selling auctions on. So, for instance, when it comes to my personal experience, I've had many different realms where I was, just having characters with some gold, and I was flipping items there. I was trying, to invest and resell. For instance, on Argent Dawn, I still have some gold, and I'm still doing that. But before, I really had a lot of gold there. Here, for instance, I recently invested in another French realm, and I'm selling a lot of different items, some legendaries that I farmed and crafted on my realm, and then also a lot of different transmogs and things like that I had, like, a duplicate or more on my realm. And this is another way you can maximize your gold making, because by having all these different items on multiple realms, you can have different, like, the same item that is being sold at the same time on different realms. And so this is a really good way, in my opinion, to also maximize your gold making experience. Also, it's always great to have some gold on different realms, because sometimes there are some deals, whether at the black market auction house or at the normal auction house, and then you can really, just benefit from all these different deals. So for me, having the chance to have different characters on different realms, and having not, like, gold cap on every realms, but at least, 4 or 5 millions on multiple realms is going to be very strategic. Again, after that, you can also do all these different cross realms farms and goal making techniques. That's what I'm trying to do right now. It's working pretty well. And again, this is something that I know some people made hundreds of millions with, especially during the first patch of Shadowlands with the legendaries. Some of my friends made literally like 40 millions in a month in benefits. So again, by having already some resources on each realm, it's helping you being able to make all these different cross-realm transfers more easily. And then it's just great to have a little bit of capital on many different realms. So for me, really, this is the second way, I would say, that I'm making personally my gold with, is really by also diversifying the different realms I'm selling my items on. But again, this is probably like secondary compared to just having a lot of different items up on the auction house. This is really just secondary, but still, this is something that can be very valuable and beneficial if you are able to do it. So now, when it comes to the third thing I want to say is try to be consistent and try to not do too much. So for instance, I'm going to take my personal case as an example. With my warrior, I have all these different items, 2,300, but unfortunately, I'm not posting them that usually because, that often, because it's just taking me too much time and I don't have this time. So most of the time, I'm just going to post a couple of them, but then I give up because it's just too long. So really try to not have like too many things everywhere, because then you're going to lose your focus, and then it's really hard to keep track of what you're doing, and also because you're just going to be overwhelmed. So try to have really the main things you need to focus on. For me, of course, this is the legendaries and all these different items. And then try to also see what are the overall opportunities, try to diversify, but without like really going everywhere. It's not possible to have all the different items available in the game on the auction house, and it's not impossible to sell everything. But try to really focus on what's interesting and what's, selling. For instance, the mounts, like the mounts, it's definitely something that will always sell. You can definitely invest time in farming these different mounts. There are always some transmogs that will also be valuable. So try to really make sure you are diversifying, but not losing completely, your focus on what really matters, because then it's just going to be a matter of, oh, I'm not selling this item. I need to have it. I went through that, really saying like, oh, I'm not having that. I need to craft it and to sell it as well. But then at some point you just really, get tired of it. So try to just have something, be consistent. That's, probably the hardest part for me is, like canceling some auctions, sometimes reposting, and always trying to have everything up on the auction house. This is actually for me the most challenging part. But once you've managed to go through all of that, it should normally be easy to make, at least, like 10, 20K gold per day for sure. So this is my main recommendations, guys. I hope it's going to be helpful. Of course, then when it comes to what items you need to farm, what items you need to craft, and what items you need to focus on, I have all my other videos you can watch where you will be able to learn more about that. And yeah, I can only wish you the best of luck with, your goal making experience. Don't forget to have fun. For me, really, that's the one thing I'm having the most fun with in World of Warcraft. That's probably why I still haven't left, because I don't really care about the content over in goal making. And yeah, so try to have fun and try to, make as much goal as you need in World of Warcraft. So I will see you all very soon for other videos. And yeah, in the meantime, enjoy, and wishing you the best of luck with your goal making activities. Okay, bye guys.